So I'm gonna go ahead and transition over to the next topic. Overrated and underrated, right? We're 3 weeks into the season. D, who do you feel is overrated? Who do you feel is underrated? I'll go standing by standing, right? So let's start with the AFC. Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Patriots. You think any team is overrated? Any team is underrated?
Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Patriots.
Yep.
Oh, you're going by division?
Yep. I'll go by division.
Okay. Well, the Patriots overrated. They're probably gonna lose 10 games in a row. The
Mm,
Jets overrated. They beat the Patriots. Let's not
yeah.
hype that up. You
Yeah.
know, Aaron Rodgers. Oh, that was an MVP game. Come on, buddy. I watched this guy beat us a long time.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
right there would have been a regular Tuesday game, and we don't have Tuesday games. That
Facts.
was normal
Facts.
Rodgers. That was not MVP Rodgers. It was not
Facts.
transcendent. All right,
Facts.
overrated. The Bills, I hate to say this, overrated. Your team
Mm,
is trash. You just have Josh Allen. All
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So you're gonna end up with 8 wins, but as the year goes on, everything's gonna start weighing on him. The hits, the games, the weeks. Your losing
Mm.
streak's gonna hit him hard. You know he's gonna have a losing streak. His mental overrated. And then the Dolphins, unfortunately, the whole fucking division is overrated.
Yeah.
Tua's on IR. What can you
Yeah.
do? Tua's on IR. They're not an overrated team, but your quarterback is on the IR. If
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, that means you're automatically out, what, 4 weeks? 4 to
Mm.
6 weeks? Automatic. Yeah, you might lose every game.
Mm. I don't disagree with anything you said except the Bills. I think the Bills are actually underrated. I think this year, when the playoffs roll around, the Bills will be a real threat to take out a team that people have going to the Super Bowl. Other than that, though, I completely agree with your list. I think the Jets overrated. Like you said, one game you beat the Patriots and you beat the Titans. Am I supposed to believe that that's spectacular? And you scraped by the Titans. You didn't beat the Titans. You scraped by the Titans. So I agree with what you said about the Dolphins and a little bit about what you said about the Patriots. I mean, they're just inexperienced and inept, unfortunately, but they are well coached. So I believe they're accurately rated. Like if you sleep on them, they can take you down. If you don't, it should be a victory for you. I move on to the AFC West. Chargers, Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos. And you don't necessarily have to say if it's for sure overrated or underrated. You could say accurately rated and that as well.
Yeah, Broncos are trash. That's accurate.
Yeah.
The
Overrated
Chargers,
though.
huh?
Overrated though. Coming into the season,
Yeah. They thought they were going to do something with Bo Nix, so you could
I
say
believe.
overrated. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They're trash. The
Yeah.
Chargers, I don't know what people are rating them, but I'm gonna say underrated because they like that. And John
Yeah.
Harbaugh hey, he ran here, he ran there. So guess what he's doing now? Running
Facts.
here.
Yeah.
And I love it. All right. Man, I don't know why we don't make the game easier for our quarterbacks. You
Yeah.
know, now
Yeah.
Justin Herbert is going to look like a freaking prodigy, being mad accurate. Like, bro, you remember when Lamar threw 36 touchdowns?
Mm,
Because they were running the ball. And then when he got in the end zone, oh, here you go, Mark Andrews.
yep. Yep.
Running all the way down. Here you go, Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? 36 TDs like that. It's not that hard. Run the
Yeah.
ball. It's not that hard. So yeah, I'm gonna say the Chargers are underrated. They're gonna have a big year. They'll make the playoffs. The Chiefs accurately rated. They are the best team. They have the best player. Let's not even worry about that. The Raiders
Facts.
underrated. They're
Yeah.
gonna be a scrappy team. I'm not saying they're making the playoffs, but they may end some teams' playoff dreams at
Yeah.
the end. 8, 9 wins. I trust in them. They just
Yeah.
don't have a quarterback. So that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree with everything you said. Obviously, I already said the Broncos. I think Jim Harbaugh. Is that Jim? It's not John, right? It's Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim. People forget that he's been into the Super Bowl. Like
Yeah.
people just I never understood the underrated view of him as a coach. Like he's been to the Super Bowl and then took Michigan obviously to the heights that they reached. So, I believe he'll do damage this year. But I agree with everything you said pretty much. Chiefs accurately rated. AFC North. Now this one gets tricky, right? Steelers, Browns, Ravens, Bengals.
Yeah. Okay. Real easy. The Browns are actually trash. So they're overrated because they were a playoff team. They will not be
Mm,
a playoff team again.
mm.
The Bengals, overrated. Everybody thinks they're going to beat Mahomes and go back to the Super Bowl. I don't think people realize what NFL football really is. It is
Yeah,
a once in a lifetime opportunity every time they go out there. Look what Mahomes is doing, no one else is doing. All right.
facts.
Except the 49ers as an organization, not like one great quarterback. It's a little bit of Garoppolo. It's a little Garoppolo, it's a little the other guy, Purdy, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, um, so I'm gonna say the Bengals are overrated. The Ravens accurately rated. They're a really good team. They'll be just fine. I'm not worried about them. The Steelers, I'm gonna say underrated,
yeah,
or I'm gonna say accurately rated. They're a playoff team. I think they'll be a playoff team again.
yeah, yeah. I agree with you. I think Steelers are underrated. I think the Steelers are underrated. Obviously, they've always been a well-coached team. Now they have a quarterback that doesn't, make mistakes as often as quarterbacks in the previous halves. So I believe that the Steelers is another one of those scrappy teams. However, with the way the division's shaping up, they could actually, take some teams out along the way. Browns, I agree with you. Ravens, I'll say accurately rated. I'm not going to say underrated just yet because I feel like that would be unfair to what they've proven to be. Bengals, on the other hand, I will say overrated, and it's hard for me to not say overrated only because one playoff run to the Super Bowl, and it really hasn't been a whole lot of winning necessarily since then or reaching those heights since then. So I would say underrated until proven, overrated until proven otherwise. Texans, Titans, Jaguars, Colts. I mean, I don't think we have to spend too much time on this. Texans accurately rated and also underrated. They're gonna do damage. Titans,
Texans.
yeah.
Okay.
Titans, accurately rated. Jags, I have them on the overrated, but it's just because of Trevor Lawrence making 55 million a season with 20 and 32 record plus only one playoff win under his belt. I know people in Jacksonville are scratching their heads. And the Colts, accurately rated.
So accurately rated as in they won't be a playoff team. Gotcha. The Colts underrated clearly because they are a really good team. All
Yeah.
right, with a really good quarterback, and I think they almost made the playoffs last year with Gardner Minshew. So underrated. The
Mm,
Texans, I hate to say this, my favorite quarterback playing right now is CJ Stroud, but they are overrated. All right, you got CJ Stroud, you got Gilmore. I mean, come on, man, 16-19 with the Bears. I don't think the Bears are that good. Everybody's hyped about the Bears defense. Okay, it was Will Levis. It was Will Levis. And he had you down 17-0. I'm not about to go crazy about your defense. All right.
mm, mm.
Will Levis had you down 17-0. It is
Yeah.
early season stuff. Crazy things are happening. So I'm gonna say the Texans are actually overrated. They should be murdering teams like the Bears. All right. And then
Yeah.
the rest of the division suck.
Jags.
Yeah, they suck. Jags, the Titans, they all suck.
Got you. Got you. Guys, I'm a perfectionist, and I personally believe in one of the things you should always care the most about is what you put into your body, which is why when I need a midday boost, I don't drink any energy drink. I drink excess energy drink. Why? Because there's nothing like a clean vitamin B12 energy boost in the middle of the day with zero sugar. You want to know why? Because when you take away the sugar, you get zero crash, which means you can keep winning all day. So guys, crack the seal on one of their many flavors and keep winning. Let's switch over to the NFC. Commanders, Eagles, Cowboys, Giants. Underrated, overrated.
I'm gonna go Cowboys. Overrated.
Yeah.
They lost too many guys. You're paying a lot for honestly some underproducers. I don't think CD Lamb is a top 5 receiver. I think he's a good
Mm,
receiver. I think he's a
yeah.
good receiver. I really do. But I think sometimes we throw that top 5, top this out a lot. And CD low key, like, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, I know, Devontae Adams can get 1,000 yards with whoever. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
know what
saying?
you mean now. Yeah.
I don't know if CD is like that. Dak is a pretty good quarterback. We can't discredit that, and he
Yeah.
throws a pretty good ball, especially when he's force feeding, kind of like Stafford with any number one receiver.
Hmm.
He's going to get you numbers.
Yeah.
Can you do that everywhere, though? I don't know.
Facts.
Eagles, it depends on who you asking about what they rated. I think if the
Yeah.
expectation is, playoffs, deep runs, I think they're accurately rated. The
Hmm.
addition of Saquon Barkley may have single-handedly saved their season.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if Saquon can get 8-9 wins with the Giants, I'm sorry, no matter how you write it, the Eagles just will win more games.
Dude.
Like you know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
not gonna go on a 5-game skid if Saquon is in all 5 of those.
Facts.
You're just not. And then the Commanders underrated. Jalen McDaniels, he nice. He
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
All right. He's nice. I just, take less hits. You know what I'm saying? Stay creative. Stay nice out there. I think he threw a crazy. The thing is, man, these guys can throw bombs. Like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
like they coming in now where it's like instead of being like, oh, we can be accurate in the short field and
Hmm.
the occasional bomb. No accuracy in the short field, no anticipation, but I got a beautiful deep ball. Justin Fields, I don't think he can throw anything but the deep ball. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Yeah.
he can
Yeah.
throw a dot. He can throw a dot in double coverage.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's like they got to work, he has to work on his inside game for sure, but he's beautiful. That game, you know what I'm saying? I think they're underrated. And
Yeah.
lastly, the Giants, I think they are accurately rated or overrated, however you want to put it. They are awful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, this has to be his last year. Dear God,
Yeah.
there has to be his last year.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Please let this be the last year, Daniel
Yeah.
Jones.
Yeah.
It's just different when the Giants suck. You know what I'm saying? Like Eli
Absolutely.
Manning, as much as people want to talk about him, he gave you one thing: a win every other week. All
Yeah.
right,
And two Super Bowls.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
While winning every other week,
Yeah.
like
Facts. Facts. Facts.
just to get the Super Bowl, he might have had to lose the last 2 games of the season, not to waste any wins.
Yeah. 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 No,
Game.
I agree with you. The Giants accurately rated. Definitely, they suck. Cowboys, I feel like every year they're overrated. I don't think it's too much to say they're a good team. Like that should be their accurate rating. They're a good team
They
with
might not make playoffs this year, though.
yeah, yeah. No, you might be right. You might be
When
right.
you
But
think
I
about
would
it,
say
the NFC is stacked.
yeah, no, it is. It is. And to your point about CD Lamb, I don't think it's too much to say that he's a playmaker. Like two things can be true. He's a playmaker and he's the Cowboys' only offensive playmaker. You
Yeah.
know? So, and then with the Eagles, man, to your point, I wanted you to I was gonna touch that for a second because it's just unfortunate they lost against the Falcons. So the way I had to talk about Kirk Cousins in a breakdown of that one, but man, Saquon behind Jalen Hurts, like that might be the most underrated. If they man, the Giants in the same division letting Saquon go to the Eagles might have been the dumbest decision I've ever seen in NFL
Ever.
history. Like Saquon on the Eagles, man, that 1-2 combo, like quarterback running back duo, might be the best in the league. Like
Yeah.
truthfully, you saw it. They should have beat the Falcons. Like I said in the breakdown, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just run it up the middle with Saquon. If you get the first down, game over. If you don't, you at least take 40 seconds off the clock. They
Yeah.
don't do that, and his only weakness in Saquon, to be fair, is just though he's dropped passes. Like he is prone to do that. So but definitely that
Should have ran the
combo
ball, but yeah.
they should have. That combo is 100%. I believe it'll be either if it's not already the best duo, it'll be the best duo.
If any of the best teams in the NFC is going to have a hard time with that, the
Yeah.
Lions, the
And
49ers.
not to mention too, he's a safety net. Like Jalen Hurts is struggling. You give it to Saquon. Like, did you see what he was doing against the Falcons, man? It was truly
Come on.
spectacular. And he's been doing that behind a bad offensive line in the Giants for the past like 5 years. Like it's man, that letting him go might have been the dumbest decision the Giants ever made in the same division. Like, you could have at least shipped him off to the AFC. You know what I mean? Like whatever though. But the Commanders, I agree with your point. Definitely underrated. I was not trying to trash on them about them going against the Bengals. I do like McDaniels, but I just think it's more that he has to prove, and he's a rookie. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But
yeah. Week by
his
week, week
potential
by
is
week.
there. Let's go
Yeah,
NFC West. Seahawks, Cardinals, 49ers, Rams.
I love this. Now this quite possibly is you know what, they lost round one in our who's the best division. They
Yeah,
lost
yeah.
round one. Hey, they said put some respect on our name. We
Facts,
got we
facts.
got we got 4 playoff teams in here.
But did we
All
not
right.
say it in that division when we broke it down? If the Cardinals just had been a little bit more consistent, you're talking about one of the top 2 toughest divisions in the league.
In
Like
the league.
the 49ers, Rams, and Seahawks have all made it to the Super Bowl in the past decade. If we're just being honest. Like
Yep.
in the past decade, it was 2024, the Seahawks went in 2014 against the Patriots.
Yeah.
So hey man, that division is like that. And if you go back 2 decades, the Cardinals were there. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
against the Steelers. So but yeah, your take on that?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna have to take the Rams as overrated because of the injuries.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
yeah,
that's just. Yeah, but I'm gonna put some respect on their name. Still, we'll see how the season goes.
for
I'm not
sure.
counting them out. Definitely not counting them out on Sunday.
Yeah.
Um, Seahawks accurately rated at this point. Geno Smith is not a good story. He's a good quarterback.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
Like it's year 3. He's doing the same thing again. 72% completion, 72 to 76. I mean, you can't ask for better, if we're being quite honest. And
yeah,
he's paid accurately. That's my
yeah,
problem with these accurate quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Some of you are overpaid and some of you are accurately paid. Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield, these guys are accurately paid.
yeah.
Jared Goff, Tua, overpaid. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
mm,
You're honestly just a little bit better than those guys, just a little bit, and
yeah.
and those guys are getting 25 million less than you.
And to your point, you pay a guy 55 million. Now he has to throw 55 times in the game, 1 million per pass attempt. You know what I mean? To still result in a loss. I'm not bashing Jared Goff. There was some play
No,
calling
not at
issues
all,
there.
because there's
But
more than
that's
just golf.
yeah,
Like I
yeah.
said, Tua. You know what I'm saying? There's other guys. I mean, what's the name's not even accurate. He got the money. The Jaguars quarterback.
Yep, Lawrence. Yep.
Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
crazy. Daniel Jones got 40 a year.
Facts. Facts.
So yeah, it's a lot of overpaid guys. It's not just Jared Goff. He's probably the best of them.
Facts.
To be
Facts.
overpaid. To be precise.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what was the last team there? Oh, in the Cardinals, underrated. No one's probably thinking you were going to do anything. You're doing something.
Yeah.
And I don't really like I said, bro. I don't get the Kyler Murray doubt. When you have a really good quarterback, one thing's for sure: we're not going to keep sucking. You know what I'm saying? Like every year is not
Yeah.
going to be bad. Like
Yeah, yeah.
with this guy, you know what I'm saying? Every year's just not going to be bad. That's the
Yeah.
truth.
And
So
Marvin Harrison Jr. looks
man,
good. Yeah.
man, and
Yeah. His
wasn't that
first
all in the
half, he
first
put on a
quarter?
clinic. First
Man,
half.
wasn't it all in the first quarter though?
First half.
Man, first half. I think most of it was in the first quarter though.
It was nice
Like
in the
it,
first quarter. Yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
insane. That's like, all right, you got yours. Okay, let me take care of everybody else now.
yeah, yeah. And
Like
then the Niners. Don't forget them.
man, yeah, yeah, accurately rated best team in that division. Quite possibly the best team in the NFC. We'll see how the year goes. I think the Lions will challenge them for that. I think
Yeah,
some other teams in the NFC will challenge them for that.
yeah,
I think the NFC has been copying off of your blueprint. You know,
yeah,
like Philly's like, hey, we'll get a McCaffrey too. Got Saquon. Detroit's
yeah,
like, hey, we'll draft a McCaffrey. Got Gibbs. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, I feel like a lot of teams in the NFC are like, actually, even with the Bears, hey, give us Swift. With
yeah,
our mobile quarterback, it's mobile quarterback with the running back that can catch and run. That
yeah,
just seems to be a very big trend in the league. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and if your quarterback's not that mobile, because Caleb's not that mobile, honestly,
yeah.
um, having that kind of running back saves your butt big time.
Absolutely,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Really, really big time. So I'll say they're accurately rated, really good team.
I can't disagree with you. And that's the first time we agreed all day on something. The NFC West, I completely agree with that. You said Seahawks underrated, right? Cardinals underrated. Niners
I think
accurately
Seahawks
rated.
accurately rated. Just a really good team.
Seahawks accurately rated. Cardinals, you said, yep, underrated.
Underrated.
49ers, you said
Rams, unfortunately, over, and
yep.
49ers accurate.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. NFC North, Vikings, Lions, Bears, Packers. Yeah, this
Hey,
one's gonna be fun.
this one's easy. This one's easy for me.
Yeah,
Vikings underrated.
underrated.
Underrated. Hey, no matter how you put it, bro, we've seen it happen. We've seen it happen
Yeah,
with Baker Mayfield. We've seen it happen with, we can name off several other guys, but I won't.
yeah.
Regular guys probably not going to win a Super Bowl, but they probably will end up with $100 million contract. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Sam Darnold is showing you right now, because I don't know what it is, bro. I think I saw something that was crazy. They said since leaving Carolina, Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield are like 48 and 15.
yeah,
TD to interception ratio.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just something bad going on in Carolina,
Bad
but something
organization.
good going on with the Vikings right now. I don't expect them to beat the Lions or anything. We don't play them to the end of the year anyway. But
Yeah,
that's Sam Darnold juice. I think he might just win enough games.
yeah,
I think mid-year you're figured out. You're gonna kind of revert back to what you were, kind of like Geno did. Like you're gonna level out. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like you're good, but you weren't like, hey, we're gonna beat everybody dominantly good.
Right.
But you could win the games that you need to win, and you could play close in games that you shouldn't win.
Yeah, and you
So
got a
yeah,
2-0 start, and they're at the top of the division right now.
they are. They are. It
So they
won't
have
stay
a
like that,
cushion,
but
and their schedule isn't that hard. Like, yeah.
yeah,
The
you know what
Vikings
I'm
are gonna
saying?
be
And then
scary.
you got Justin Jefferson. You can force feed that. I mean, he opens the game with 97-yard TD. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Come on. How hard is it to be the quarterback when I got that?
Yeah, yeah,
And they haven't had their starting running back plan, who's really good too. Another like dual threat running back. Like I said, that's a trend.
And
You
is
know
it
what I'm
crazy
saying?
to say that Justin Jefferson might be underrated? Like
He is underrated. He's the best receiver in the league.
in the
I
league.
I don't think it's a debate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If I started a league right now, I think Peyton. What Peyton Manning say when they had
Justin. He wanted
video?
Justin.
He said Justin first. All
Yeah,
right, and all the way to the point, he took Tyreek like third. He was like, "I'll just take out my running back and put Tyreek in."
yeah. Which,
You know
mind
what
you,
I'm
Peyton
saying?
had a crazy lineup though.
He did double
Like,
tight
yeah,
end. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Jamar, Justin, which is crazy because isn't that what Burrow had in college?
Hey,
Jesus.
yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Lions
yeah, Lions
accurately rated.
accurately rated. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna go underrated.
Mm,
Right? They're still
mm.
the Lions, and I feel like the second we lose, you see what happens. People still act like we're the Lions of the old.
True,
No,
true,
this is
true.
the new Lions. One loss don't mean nothing. Y'all
Yeah,
favorite team lost too. All right. The undefeated teams are teams that didn't make the playoffs last year.
yeah,
So let's not
yeah.
act like every good team don't have an L except for Mahomes.
And let's
You
also
know?
say too, the AFC Championship and the NFC Championship all the way to the Super Bowl. There's only one team with a winning record from those four teams that played, and that's the Chiefs. Ravens haven't won a
Exactly.
game. Niners are 1-1, and we're 1-1.
Come
So
on. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So no, I'm not gonna trip out.
No time to panic in Detroit.
Not at
Bears
all. Underrated. Bears, overrated.
overrated. Yeah,
Heavy
yeah,
on overrated.
yeah.
Like I said, I don't know if that defense is even like that right now. The defense literally, you locked up Will Levis. I'm sorry. I'm not moved by that.
Well,
What was
here's
the
what I
next
will
game?
say. Oh, go
CJ
ahead.
Stroud. You locked up CJ Stroud, but didn't I say the Texans were overrated? Okay, then. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying? Let
yep.
me see you lock up somebody I think is like that. You know what I'm saying? And I do think CJ is like that. I just don't know if his whole team is like that. I think he raises their level, not they're raising his level.
Mm,
That's all I'm saying with CJ.
mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, when you constantly got to raise the level of your team, that's hard. Week by week, every game throughout a long season, you're not going to beat everybody.
For
You
sure.
know? And what's the last team? Packers. Unfortunately, overrated.
Yeah.
You lost your quarterback. You did win a game with what's the name? Young Buck. But
Yeah.
I'm not sold on that.
Me
You know what I'm
neither.
saying? It
Me
was
neither.
very close. He only threw the ball 13 times. Granted, I think completed 12 of them.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'd rather you be 12 or 13, 12 or 24 with a pick.
Right.
You
I'll
know,
say
but
this much to your
I'm not worried
bear.
about them. No, that's all. That's it. Yeah.
I'll say this much to your Bears point. The only reason why I say their defense is like that is because what I said after that Titans game was you won't see that at all for the rest of this league and maybe for the next few years. A block punt, return for a touchdown, and a pick six in the same game. That's hard to do, and that's all defense, and that's what won you the game. You made up for your inability to lock Will Levis down in the first half. So I'll give you props there. CJ, I really believe his team. I believe they're underrated. Their defense is like that. The defense is solid. I'm going to say they like that. The defense is solid. They got a crazy edge rush combo in Will Anderson Jr. and the other guy, I can't think of his name. And they pressure Caleb the whole time. But their defense withstood CJ Stroud with Joe Mixon and Diggs and held them to, I forgot what the score was of that game, but I believe under 20 points.
19 to 16.
Under 20 points and arguably put the game in Caleb's hand to win. And that's what had DJ Moore mad at the end of that game because he's like, I did everything I could to possibly like to make this easier for you. And we still lost. So with that, that's the reason why I would say that. I say they're overrated because Caleb's is still a rookie. And to think that he's going to like miraculously lead you to glory in his first year is just.
What DJ thinking? Man, I had because receivers are not thinking about wins. They thinking about what's going on with their career.
Yeah.
And DJ thinking I had 1,200 yards with Justin. You're supposed to be fucking Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I said this before, Justin Fields, man, look at what he's doing with the Steelers right now. And this is when we talked about the division versus division, I said, if you gave Justin Fields like a decent O-line, I'm telling you, he's going to win more games than a lot of the quarterbacks who had decent O-lines who didn't win a lot of games.
He's missing a lot of reads, but at the same time, he's also like, you got to get all those Chicago bad habits off of him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
even with Chicago bad habits, you still win 7 games. Like, I'm sorry, man. I felt like Justin Fields was just completely. It's the same.
Chicago, I don't think he lost yet, right?
No, and it's the same thing. I feel like with Bryce Young. Like if you're in a bad organization as a quarterback and you're young, it's hard to overcome that. Confidence is hard to build up. It's easy to lose. And when it comes to these young quarterbacks, like you need coaches that can dial you back in and give you layups early on in your career to build that confidence so you can be more free while you're out there. And it's just unfortunate some quarterbacks go through what they go through early, man. But and to your point against the Packers, yeah, I agree with you. Overrated. They lost their quarterback. And even coming into this season, like they had what did we say? In talking about the Eagles versus the Packers game. We know what you are. We hope Jordan Love is the next Aaron Rodgers, and we put above average pieces around you. And you have a great coach in Matt LaFleur who can scheme teams to death. Like you lost the quarterback, so I agree with your point. Overrated. I'm moving on to the last division, the NFC South. Saints, Bucks, Falcons, Panthers. Now, for me, this one's actually pretty easy.
Yeah, it is. The Panthers are bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, real bad.
You might even say they were overrated in their ability to be bad or underrated in their ability to be bad.
Yeah, you knew they were going to be bad and they're going to be this bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right about that. And they lost their best player on defense, probably the best player on their team.
Yeah.
The Saints, underrated.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We're taking it week by week, but I told you already over the phone, bro. Derek Carr is looking like that Matthew Stafford year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, hey, out of a shitty organization, shitty situation, now I got something decent around me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can really show off who I am. You know?
Yeah.
I think underrated. The Falcons, I'm going to have to say accurately rated. People expect you to win that division. I don't think that is going to necessarily be easy.
Yeah.
And I also don't think you end the year as a division leader.
I don't think so.
I think they finished second, though.
At best.
I think they finished second. I don't see them slipping to third. I also don't see that being a 3-team
monster. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think somebody falls off. I don't think it's...
We don't know.
I really don't know. Because I don't think it's the Saints. I definitely don't think it's the Bucs. And I
Yeah.
don't think it's the Falcons.
Yeah. I agree with you.
But I think it's just gonna come down to who beat who. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Hey, Falcons, you had enough wins to get in there, but you let the Saints get you, you know what I'm saying, twice. Or
Yeah.
hey, you know what I'm saying, Saints, you had 10 wins, but you got 2 losses to the Falcons.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna come down to who beats who in that division.
Yeah.
And am I missing one?
Bucks.
Bucks. Underrated.
Yeah, I know
You
you
know what I'm
were
saying? I
I knew
think
you were going
everybody
there.
I don't think everybody picked the Falcons to win a division. And once again, the Bucks are on top of that division, walking their way through this another season. I mean, beating the Lions
Yeah.
in Detroit the way they did, that showed me a lot, bro. When Baker been in the gym. Like I
Yeah.
told you, Golf been in the gym because that deep ball looking different this year.
Yeah.
Baker been in the gym working on his pliability. That stuff. What's the name was on Tom Brady. He's been working on
Yeah.
his pliability. When he ran that ball, he hit the little saucy, like he got a little saucy right there and like got in. And I was
Hated
like,
to see it, but loved it
that
at the
is
same
not
time.
that is not Baker of last year. That
Facts.
is not the
Facts.
accuracy,
He lost
right?
some weight too.
Come on, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
Baker's looking bought in. You gave him 100 million.
Yeah.
You gave him the confidence to this is us, this is me, I'm here, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's showing you he's worth every freaking penny. Probably should have got 200 million, but instead, and I said that only because that's what they're giving guys, even though they're not worth
Facts.
it.
Facts.
But you took a deal that was what you're really worth. So guess what? You get to keep a team that helps you, right?
Yeah. And I
Because
believes in you.
come on, him and Chris Godwin are linked up, right? Mike
117
Evans
yards.
is still going to be Mike Evans. They don't really have a running game. They did. That's all they need right now is a running back. They need that dual threat back there, and that team
Yeah.
would literally probably take off.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. Panthers, like I said, underrated in their ability to be bad. When it comes to the Saints, underrated. Clint Kubiak, offensive coordinator, man, he's making that team look phenomenal right now. I can believe 40 plus points against the Panthers, but doing it the next week against the Cowboys, I I don't want to say like okay, this is I don't want to say anything I'm gonna regret later, so I'm not gonna say it. But that's not luck. That's not luck doing that back to back. The Bucks underrated. The Bucks, Baker and that team really believes that they can actually win the Super Bowl, and they're playing like it. That win against the Lions was kind of how our win felt against the Rams last year in that wild card matchup. Like you play, it was deeper than just the game for you. It was your team proving to themselves that they could do it, and they were like that. And then when the growth out of Baker too as well, that touchdown that he ran in, I believe it was the last score of the game, and it was the game-winning drive into the third quarter when he rushes it in for the touchdown. That whole drive to me was them saying to themselves, we're not the team of old. Last year when they went down against the Lions in the playoff matchup in divisional round, he threw an interception. So that was growth to me. And they played like it, like you said, him and Chris Godwin locked in 117 yards on the first 7 receptions, I want to say his first 7 passes, all to Chris Godwin, and 117 yards. Falcons, here's where it gets tricky for me, right? I will say accurately rated if you believed that Kirk Cousins would give them potential. I believe they were accurately rated. That game against the Eagles, that's why Kirk Cousins paid 100 million. You know what I mean? A lot of quarterbacks can't mentally stay in the game long enough to actually make that game-winning drive happen when it looks like the odds are against you. Like they should have lost that game. To be honest with you, that game didn't even start until the last 2 minutes. If you really paying attention to the game,
Yeah.
game didn't start to the last 2 minutes. Eagles slip up just once. Falcons, I mean, you see that surgical drive from Kirk Cousins. Like that's
Yeah.
why he's paid the money he's paid. However, they got the Chiefs coming up, and they're still kind of young in some positions. But if you believe that Kirk Cousins will give them potential, I believe they were accurately rated. If you have them winning this division, however, I would say they're overrated. The Bucks, regardless of what the Saints do. The question I had after week 2 was that we talked about on the phone is who do you trust longer on their team, Baker or Derek Carr? And it's like Baker. Like he's proved it last year he can get them there. He's gotten better this year. I believe if we're talking about what team is going to fall off in that division, I don't think it'll be the Bucs. Now, between the Falcons and the Saints, who knows? But I don't think it'll be the Bucs.